George in the air. They'll be a little bit more cautious with the ball. And maybe that's a little bit more suited to maybe to Adelaide City. They know they don't have that headache to deal with tonight.
Well, last week against Patriots, sort of Adelaide City's, they had fewer opportunities, but a lot of them came in for those crosses and quick counter-attacks. So
here goes Antijanto though.
That's a good thing.
Conway's there. Does he get... Oh! Hall comes. Doesn't clean it up. Balamba, top of the box. Dorigo! Just wide of the left post. John Hall misjudged the drop of that ball when it came across from Antijanto's cross. I reckon he's got big hands, John Hall, and I reckon that's what saved him there.
He made some really big saves last week as well. He's didn't realise till I got a little bit closer to him after the game, just the size of the man. So really capable shot stopper. It was interesting, again, talking about West Torrens Birkalla's style of play, just moving the ball quickly, yet pretty composed in that attack. But here come Adelaide City, ready to account as they do so well.
Adelaide City pressing Birkalla high up the park. Harpers has to clear, finds Welsh, another one of those players that made his way to Adelaide, from Adelaide Comet, sorry. A Sergio Melter medalist and also former A-League player, so they've also brought in some experience with him as Birkalla go forward again. Matsumoto crosses and Lynch puts it out for a throw. Sorry, a corner kick. If you've just joined us, welcome to the coverage here at Jack Smith Park of this round 2 Federation Cup match, coinciding with the Hahn Australia Cup preliminary rounds. Nearly 10 minutes gone, still 0-0, but Birkalla find themselves with a corner now. A little bit of a breeze pushing this ball towards that net as well, Simon.
Yeah, maybe...
It's going to be in swung, Christophilos. It's right on the spot. Hall comes, misses, falls to Balamba again. Clips it back in. Morris can't control it now. Adelaide City look to break away. Bucco. Now it's Conway. Slips a nice little ball in. Antijanto, his little back flick. Only finds Brazan. Now it's Bucco. Look to release. No, he doesn't. Laurie Latanzio on the far side now. I think it's also safe to say that Adelaide City have had a much better start than what they had last season, given they won only one of their first 7 or 8 games in all competitions last season. They were dumped out of the cup early. So they'll really look to make amends, and if they win tonight, this will be a big statement win for them as well. Here's Brazan. Dorber. Finds Latanzio. Comes back inside. Brazan. Bucco's in some space, but he gets tracked back now, and now that ball into the box by Brazan can only find Harpus in the goal.
Just having a quick look at the team sheets compared to when they played a couple of weeks ago, and it looks like each team's made at least 3 changes.
Run us through those team sheets, mate, because we didn't get a chance at the start. Just run us through the Birkalla team sheet and the Adelaide City team sheet.
Abdul Balamba starting for West Torrens Birkalla. Cohen Morris, Ryan Yates, Jonathan Dorigo, Nathan Antijanto, Yohei Matsumoto. Number 20, the captain, Nicholas Harpus. 22, Alan Welsh, Tyrese Conway, and Chris Christophilos. And Harrison Ashworth comes into the team. For Adelaide City, John Hall. Yuki Kitano, is he actually on the field?
Yes, he is, yep.
Understand my notes here. Lewis Carlo, Daniel Brissan, Matthew Dorber, the captain, Nicholas Bucco, Binyam Kabedi, Terence Lynch, Louis Laurie Latanzio, Oliver Weston, and...
Conway's in on goal. Well done there. So it was Oliver Weston that got his foot in there, but you're pointing out to me, John Paul Mbembe,
yep,
former Adelaide United youth captain.
I was getting ready to stuff up his surname, so
no, that's all right, mate. I think it's actually his first definitely his first start. I'm not sure if he's come on. Did he come on last week?
He didn't. He wasn't on the team sheet last week.
This looks like his first outing for Adelaide City. I think he's been injured in the pre-season, so a very, well, if you're at Adelaide United in the youth system, you must be quite a decent player, so a big inclusion for them as well. The interesting one for me is, and how well he's done so far, is Oliver Weston. He's a youth product of Adelaide City who's come through the ranks the last few seasons and finds himself starting week in, week out at the moment, so well done to him as well. As Adelaide City go forward, it's on the far side, it's Kilo. Brazan has a go from distance on his left foot and had enough power behind it, but Nicholas Harpus didn't look too fast.
He had a very active left foot last week against Patriots. He tried to fire it in plenty of times from outside that 18-yard box.
Well, he did find the back of the net with a nice little chip last week, didn't he? So
yeah, I can't remember his exact one, to be honest. Given
I think it was
4 different goal kickers. I think 3 of the subs as well had the goals last week. So
Hall comes out and uses his head that time to clear safely.
Adam Lecornu, one of those players that are missing for West Torrens Birkalla as well. Of course, came off at the 33-minute mark last time West Torrens Birkalla and Adelaide City met. And not named on the sheet today, so
They got some decent cover back there with Cohen Morris, who I think he actually came on for him in that game, and he's starting again tonight. And an interesting one as well, not an interesting one, but Ashworth, who's starting tonight. He was out, I think he's been out injured for the majority of the last 12 months, so he gets a start tonight as well, as Dorigo leaves a foot in on Weston. The referee tonight is Thomas Brinkworth, and he just has a little friendly chat with Jonathan Dorigo there. As we see Amina Yubi, the president, looks like he's going to go fetch that ball. I think he just about does everything here.
I think yeah. He's like, where's Wally around this park? You can spot him everywhere.
He's on a mission to go get that ball.
Nice little crowd for a midweek fixture here. Some people still joining us now. It's
it's built up nicely. So, and the conditions have cooled very, very nicely as well as Adelaide City go forward. No team really yet to test the keepers out. Dorba finds Kabete. He's got Matsumoto. Gets past him, but then loses the ball. Now it's Welsh.
They just need to be so careful, West Torrens Birkalla. We saw in last week's NPL round just how quickly Adelaide City, despite not holding the possession in that game, they just became dangerous so quickly. So, although West Torrens Birkalla are moving the ball pretty well, they just got to be really careful that they don't open up anything for Adelaide City here on the counter-attack.
And that doesn't help when you give the ball away like that. Adelaide City back in possession again. Latanzio tries to find Dorba making the forward run. It's cut out by Matsumoto. Former Campbelltown and Championship and Federation Cup winning player is Matsumoto, so he brings a heck of a lot of experience to that back four. Here is Mbembe, Christophilos and Kitano come together.
Plenty of excitement with Matsumoto as well. It's always fun when he's on the far side from us at the moment, but when they do switch sides and you sort of get to see him up close in action, just how much ground he covers. Really, really wide on the wing. Plenty of support up front as well. He doesn't mind taking a more advanced position.
Loves donning the gloves on when he plays as well. Matsumoto, doesn't matter what the conditions are by the looks.
Well, we did talk about he might be the drippiest player out here too. I think the gloves are just part of the outfit.
Yeah, the only part of his skin we can see is his face, because I think he's got long leggings on, long undergarments on as well.
It's 32 degrees today. How's it going to go in the middle of winter?
Some feel it a little bit more. I speak for myself when I say that. Adelaide City just happy to have a bit of possession They actually seems like they want Birkalla to come and press them, so they can try and break those lines with a forward pass. They give it away this time. Conway picks it up. Another one of those who made his way to Birkalla this year from South Adelaide last season.
You called it Adelaide City just waiting for West Torrens Birkalla to press and just taking that opportunity moving forward, but here come West Torrens Birkalla in this instance.
Throw in for Adelaide City. Mbembe takes. Welsh gives it back to them, but Yates with a clattering tackle, as we all know Ryan Yates will do every game. And most of the time he comes out on top as well. He's got a very, very good knack of making a solid, clean tackle, was Yates. And definitely gets under the skin of his opponents.
He's just such a huge presence in the middle of the park. I remember his game at Para Hills to start off the season was one where I believe he came on in at half time, and of course that was the game that they made their way back from a 3-0 deficit. So sort of started this trend of all draws that we've seen from West Torrens Birkalla so far. But despite them getting pretty good results without them managing to get 3 points from any particular game, it has affected them on the ladder a little bit.
Yeah, well, they drew that first game 3-3 with Para Hills after being 3-0 down, and then they were 3-2 up here at home against Campbelltown. They drew that 3-3 also. And then they went on with 2 1-1 results as well after that. One of them was against Adelaide City, of course. And the latest one was last weekend.
Adelaide Croatia Raiders.
Against Raiders, yeah. So
yeah, I guess
4 points from 4 games. You probably, as a club that's come up, you would take that. But I know when you've spent the money and signed the players that you do, you probably expect to have at least turn maybe 1 or 2 of those into maximum points as well as they go forward again here. It's a diagonal ball into Janto, has a go on his left foot, and that one is well off target.
Yeah, just having a look there at number 7 on the ladder at the moment, and Adelaide City and Para Hills, who they drew with, they're ahead of them on 7 points. So, form-wise, they're not looking too bad, but, it doesn't mean much if you can't get the points. But as you said, coming up from State League 1, mid-table with things able to change pretty quickly. But you mentioned the players that they picked up. There's been some real quality. Really been enjoying Andy Janto. You talk about players that get under people's skin. He's very, very good at that.
Yeah, they've got a couple of them, and they do it very well, and they often get away with it as maybe a little bit too often, but it is what it is. Sometimes it's more the sledging that I've known and heard, and it's quite funny sometimes. There's nothing malice in it, but I guess it's what makes players have different attributes, isn't it?
I think when I watch players,
if you can put your opponent off just by saying something to them, you've almost won half the battle.
It's funny whenever I see a sportsman, you see their personality show like that. I always think as long as it's a genuine thing, I don't want to see a player who's a nice guy trying to sledge. I just don't find it very believable. But some people are ultra competitive and just not always that nice. So if you bring that personality onto the field, go for it. But if you ain't about that life, maybe leave that on the sideline when you get in there.
It's all fun and games till someone gets hurt, isn't that what they say?
Or gets a card.
As we've got a stoppage in play, Welsh has won the free kick for Birkalla, but it looks like it's Fergus Lynch who's down holding either a hamstring or a groin, as we see now the substitutions for Adelaide City go and warm up. Got Paddy Carachia there, Nicholas Franchisi, Yared Abichu, who's missed the last couple of weeks with injury, back in the team this week, and Gutierrez, who was actually a late inclusion for pre-season this year, hence why he's also not played many games. He was back, I think, believe in Argentina, where he's from. He was over there for most of the start of the year. So it's a decent bench tonight for Adelaide City. I think there's another couple I've missed. I think young Zacharias on the bench, the goalkeeper who came on last year in that finals game against Metro Stars when they lost back then. It was Dakota Oxenham, and it looks like they're going to be forced into an early change here just after 22 minutes. Looks like it is going to be
himself. Yeah,
it is going to be Gutierrez, the man we just spoke about. Looks like Lynch is making his way. He's not even trying to come back on by the looks.
Potentially something maybe carried into this game.
Yeah, it didn't look like there was any. It's definitely looked like it was contactless. So that almost certainly points towards a muscular injury as Kibete goes forward. He gets into the box, cuts it back. Can't find his teammate Yuki Kitano. Adelaide City give away a free kick in the middle of the park, and there's one of those players winning that free kick. It's Nathan Endijanto, and referee just telling the players just to calm down, and I think maybe that free kick is going to be an opportunity here for this substitution. It is. So on comes Juan Gutierrez, number 5 for Adelaide City, and the player we spoke about who made his way around the back of the goal is young Fergus Lynch, who looks to have sustained an injury, which is unfortunate. Great little interplay there by Balamba. Going forward now is Balamba again. It was Conway who made his way into the box, but Balamba just couldn't quite get the ball back to him. We saw Conway as well, who, when you look at all these signings, you probably think, yeah, Balamba and Conway probably the low key of all of them. When you've got players like Welsh and Blackwood and Yates and Endigento, all these players that have come from, Adelaide Comets. But the output that Conway had last year for South Adelaide was pretty massive, wasn't he? He almost, on some weeks, most time he was their best player. And obviously now he finds himself playing in the NPL again. So West Torrens Birkalla obviously saw something in him and got him across.
He started pretty well too. He even had impact in the first couple of games. So
I think he scored 2 in that first game, didn't he? Against Para Hills, or did he only score the 1?
Can't remember off the top of my head, to be honest. But yeah, had some instant impact. Just having a look at the Sunday game, Playford against Adelaide City. Lynch played the full 90 minutes, or 98 minutes in fact, in that particular game. So potentially got some tired legs as he comes off. And yeah, you do wonder if he carried something into this game to come off around about the 20-25 minute mark.
Yeah, I'm not one to make excuses because I normally am the one saying do this, do that. But the start to this season has been very, very interrupted with hot weather and games being rescheduled, and it does put your training schedules out of whack as well, because obviously some of these teams have to play either on a Thursday, a Friday or a Sunday when they're not customised to that Saturday every week. And it can really play with someone's mind, if you've got to play a game on a Tuesday night, for example, like we had last night. We had a game on a Wednesday night for the State League 2, or I think it was Tuesday night. State League 2 played on a Tuesday night, and those players just aren't used to that at that level as well. So as we see a player down on the far side, play goes on. It looks like it might be a head injury, and Brinkworth brings it to a stop. So we'll go back to what we're talking about. So that change in schedule really can affect the player, especially with some of these guys are work during the day as well, and they're not all paid very highly as in the NPL, unfortunately. But if you've got to go work an 8 to 4 job and then you've got to go and get ready for a game on a Tuesday night, that can really affect you. And then, playing 90 minutes at a high level is a lot different to going and have a training session for 90 minutes or an hour or so. So
yeah, absolutely. If you're rushing to the game, even with a midweek fixture tonight, 7 o'clock kickoff, I know myself had to come straight from work, and we don't have to run for 90 minutes. So
no, that's right.
I just want to rewind to what you said before, because this is shout-worthy. Tyrese Conway, during that game that you mentioned, the first one round 1 against Para Hills in the NPL. Came on the 52nd minute, scored in the 55th, 64th, and the 80th minute.
So he scored a hat-trick.
A hat-trick
so
in less than 40 minutes.
Well,
so, yeah, you could say that he made an impact. He took it all on his own back, and, yeah, that's really impressive to come in round 1 for a different side and just have a huge impact. That particular game, West Torrens Birkalla just came out looking like a completely different side in that second half.
It's amazing what a rocket can do.
Dorigo came on during the 52nd minute of that game too, and
oh, that's a late challenge by Kitano, and Yates got there ahead of him. He still went for the challenge and finds himself picking up the first yellow of the night. Referee Thomas Brinkworth was right on the spot for that one, and I think the Adelaide City marksman there can find himself a bit lucky that he only made slight contact. It's actually a former Japanese youth international, is Yuki Kitano. Played at Marconi Stallions as well. They seem to have that little bit of a connection between Marconi and Adelaide City these days. Obviously, Adelaide City's football director Angelo Costanzo used to play there, and his son still plays there, so there's often contact between the two, I believe. As Kitano, Morris tangles. Morris has got hold of him. Kitano still free. Finds Kabete on the far side. Can he get a shot away? It's Kabete. It's blocked. Latanzio, his secondary effort is nowhere near the target.
coming on 52nd minute, scoring a hat-trick after that. Jonathan Dorigo also coming on 52nd minute, and Christophilos as well, 52nd minute. All those three players starting tonight as well. So interesting just to see during those early rounds just the team evolve a little bit, have a bit of a different look. And, you know, those particular three players, although now part of that starting 11, even though round one only a few weeks ago, things were a bit different.
Well, nothing would please a coach more than having new players come in and make a difference. Here is one of them, it's Conway. Finds himself in a bit of space. Can he get the cross in? He can, but it beats everyone. Matsumoto's there to pick up the scraps at the back post. Nips it in, into Janto. Oh, just over the cross, but that dipped very late and had John Hall scrabbling for the ball in the air, and even the man of his size couldn't even. Adelaide City will play out from the back again. Here is Gutierrez, the man that came on for Lynch, an early substitution due to injury. Brazan in a bit of space, looks to the far post, he's got Latanzio. Can he win the header? Matsumoto misses it, so it falls to Latanzio's feet. Now he's got Bucco. He might have a go if he gets a chance here. Bucco goes to ground. The referee was right on top of it, says play on. Now Conway's away. The flag stays down. Conway, 1-on-1 with John Hall. Conway! Great save by Hall, and a great follow-up by Hall as well. That length come into his advantage that time.
Yeah, he was. And sort of going back a few seconds before that, Booker at the other end of the field, he definitely looked like he was winding up to have a crack at it, but stopped in his tracks. He was on the floor for a little bit, but he's up and about, although he's trying to sort of walk that off just a little bit.
Here's Dorba. Nice little pass with the outside of his foot. Finds Mbembe. He finds Kitano making the forward run. He's got two players on him now. Now Dorba, free. Gets the ricochet back. Gets to the byline. Can he cut it back? Morris gets there and puts a foot in. Interesting little story actually just popped into my head about John Hall, and it would have been probably given that he's been playing in the Vic MPL for the last couple of seasons, the last time he was in the MPL was actually when he played for Croydon back in 2022. And that was when Angelo Costanzo was a coach. And his last game here, he actually got sent off in the final. The corner comes in from Bucco. The smallest player on the park in Matsumoto wins the header. Now Conway's away. Bucco's got a chase on his hands. Gets some help from Brazan. Still Conway. Finds Balamba. Comes back inside. Slowed the attack down. Adelaide City did very, very well to get everyone back behind the ball there. Here's Matsumoto overlapping on the far side. Can he get a cross in? Gets to the line. Crosses. Hall again. He's there with those long gadget arms that he's got, and he distributes the ball with them very well. Cabete goes to ground.
Give him a little bit of support on the overlap.
I think the most relieved person was Nicholas Bucco then, because he was chasing down Conway. Then he's had Balamba on his left as well, and fortunately he had the help from Brazan, who was coming from the middle of the park, to come across and support him. Otherwise he could have been faced with a 2v1 situation. Not to be the case. Adelaide City dealt with it. Now it's Bucco. Brazan. Welsh does enough just to put him off and send him back a little bit away from goal, and now they go all the way back to John Hall. Can't play it long because all the players are offside. Now he can. Finds Cabete. His pass is short. Now it's Welsh. He's going to chip John Hall, is he? Oh my goodness, that was close. Probably somewhat, maybe would Welsh be 6'2" or something like that? He's a pretty big boy.
Just having a look, he, aside from John Hall, he might be the tallest player out there at the moment.
But full pace, running, looked up, saw the keeper off his line, attempted the audacious chip, and he did not miss by much. It wouldn't even be surprised if it grazed the crossbar. But definitely had, John Hall didn't even bother tracking back for it. I think he accepted his fate there. Now he'll go long. Dorber wins the header. Referee says there's a use of an arm there. Ashworth jumped with Dorber. Dorber won the header. Ashworth went to ground and won the free kick.
It's been an arm wrestle so far. You can't really say either team has more momentum, maybe favouring Adelaide City slightly, but West Torrens Birkalla with a couple more really dangerous shots, even just in the last couple of minutes.
Christophilos goes back to Morris. And as you're saying, it's just been both teams sort of filling each other out for a majority of this first half an hour. Balamba wins the header. Conway loses possession. Balamba's still down. I think he fell quite heavily there. Cabete could not find the slip pass for Laurie Latanzio, and now it's Matsumoto. Still down behind play is Balamba holding his, I think he's holding his hip for a second there. That would definitely have hurt, because look, let's put it this way, a man of his size jumped up and won the header against his opponent, who's a good foot taller than him, and he's landed straight flat on his hip. He's still holding his backside there.
I think it might be a bit of a case of just a knock on the hip there, because you're right, he got some serious airtime against two bigger bodies, and yeah, unfortunately what goes up must come down.
Conway again, been very good this first 37 minutes has Conway. Dorber keeps it in. Now can he provide a spark for Adelaide City? Not this occasion, he's got three to deal with, and Welsh comes across and goes out for a throw-in.
Balamba, he's running now, but he was still looking a little bit sorry for himself, but it looks like he finally has.
It's one of those things, I think, where he saw the ball coming forward and there was a chance to go forward, and It's amazing how you don't feel any pain when you're running forwards, but as soon as you got to track back, it's like you've had a ton of bricks fall on you.
I think he spent so long in the air, he probably even had a chance on the way down to stop and think, hold on a second, there's a few feet to go yet.
Here's Conway. He's got Christophilos. He's got a nice cross on his left foot when he gets the chance. Welsh. Another little audacious chip this time to find a teammate, but it's Kilo who comes across. John Hall finds the feet of Brazan. Again, Adelaide City just trying to be patient, and they really want Birkalla to come at them and press so they can play around them, but they're just holding off in that little bit of a mid-block at the moment, Birkalla. Now Conway comes to put a little bit of pressure. Weston goes long. Kitano. Morris misses the ball, gives Kitano half a chance now. Gets to the byline. Morris goes for the tackle. He's lucky he didn't grab any of the shirt there as well. Here's Brazan on the left. Right, back on his left. Has another go. Comes to nothing. But Morris was quite lucky there in the first occasion. He let it go for now, but Adelaide City still in possession. Bucco. Can he get a shot away or a cross? Brazan. Latanzio. And Birkalla forcing him to turn out and start again. Little clip ball by Brazan to no avail. But back to that Morris challenge there. He tangled with Kitano not too long ago and got away with it. And that time there he let him go. But then as Kitano pushed the ball past him to the byline, you saw Morris try to get a foot in. And I think it was one of those things. Kitano on a yellow card. If he went down, he may have been seen to simulation and, you know, a possible yellow and red card. Well, maybe not worth the risk.
Yeah, Morris put himself under a fair bit of pressure there, but luckily he sort of got up pretty quickly and managed to make for his little moment of just being a little overeager.
Adelaide City in possession again. It's been somewhat of a 50-50 first half. If we had those stats, I'm pretty sure it'd be very, very close to a even split, considering the best of the chances maybe have fallen to Birkalla. That great save by John Hall when Conway was one-on-one with him. Now Welsh looks for Christophilos, who was in some space but got dragged in by the pass. Now he gives it away. He's caught out of position. Now Christophilos. Dorber is in some space on this side if they can find him. Kabede in a foot race with Christophilos. Beats him. Now he's got Matsumoto to deal with. But Matsumoto does very well. And Birkalla somehow find their way out of trouble for now, but they've given it away. Dorber, he might have a go from distance. No. Didn't want to pull the trigger that time, Dorber. Now it's Balamba away. Onside. And Bembe comes across. Balamba gets to the byline. Clips it to the back post. Dorigo was there, but he slipped at the crucial moment. I think he may have just gone past him.
Strange to think how quickly the first 40 minutes of this game have gone, even though we're still at 0-0. It's been pretty competitive and pretty exciting. I think West Torrens Birkalla attacking pretty aggressively when they do get the chance, but they're losing possessions around the midfield area, and it's getting picked up by Adelaide City at various points. And when they do manage to win possession around that part of the field, they become really dangerous really quickly.
Yeah, I think they will let this go as Conway turns Weston, gets in on goal again, cuts it back and it's blocked. That time there was almost going to make my point. So they've really got to try and either get a shot away or actually pick someone out like they nearly did that time. But that time they had 4 or 5 in the box. So my point is the quick counter-attacks for them need to be a little bit more spot on when they get the chance.
maybe that's where they're feeling the absence of someone like Blackwood.
Yeah, that person who's there pouncing on the spot, that's right. They've got a corner in the meantime. Matsumoto comes over to take it. He's going to swing it in. It's deep. Back post delivery. Cleared off the line. Kitano cleared the header. Welsh, the secondary ball. I think it may have been Alan Welsh that got the first header. Kitano was there.
It's definitely a gasp from the crowd in front of us.
Jonathan Dorigo having I think it's the second time Brinkworth's had to have a chat to him. So maybe just telling him to calm down a little bit. Not too sure actually what happened. I didn't see anything happen. I think Birkalla were maybe hinting that there was a handball prior to the Welsh handball on the follow-up, but nothing spotted by the officials. And Adelaide City find themselves escaping there, but they give the ball away, do they? No, they don't. Brazan does well to win it back. Ashworth wins it. Dorigo, his chested ball. Bucco pinches it. Now it's Dorber. Dorber with the first time pass. Great pass. Latanzio's in on goal. Misses the ball. Gets around the keeper. Goodness me. Nearly put that. That's what happens when you spin. Yeah. That's not my best piece, that's for sure. But I think, yeah, he really, if he had taken that first time, he was definitely in on goal.
It was a hell of a ball to find him as well, but Harper's really put under pressure. It was only a fingertip that he got to. I'm amazed that he managed to stop it. Shows how sticky the gloves can be.
Yeah, the modern day gloves have got all sorts of things in them these days. Well, West Torrens Birkalla give it away, unfortunately. And Argento slipped. Now it's Kilo. Can't find Kabete. Balamba wins it, finds Argento. Back to Balamba. Balamba goes to ground, wins the ball, but it only falls now. It's with John Hall, who will clear on his left foot. John Hall not happy with his 10 players in front of him not challenging for that ball in the air. As we approach stoppage time now. Sorry, we're in stoppage time. We're into the first minute of it. Now it's Welsh going forward. Can Birkalla take the lead before half time? Clips it to the back post. It's cleared by Lewis Kilo. Now Dorber picks it up. He's got a couple of players ahead of him, but he might just try and find feet. He does. Kitano. He's got Latanzio on that far side, but he can't find him, and it goes out for a throw-in.
Been seeing West Torrens Birkalla looking for that cross on a couple of occasions, especially in the last 5 minutes. It really feels like they're missing some height in the middle there, so it'll be interesting to see once half-time's called if they do adjust something. Glover and Conway are seeing plenty of it on that left-hand side of the box, but just that final touch missing.
Here goes Conway. Well, we had the overlapping run of Christophilos and burnt him in the end, and then Welsh tried to find him. Now they may be caught out as we approach the end of this first half. Latanzio with some speed tries to get past Matsumoto, but it's another chance now here for Birkalla. Conway again, probably been the player of the first half, cuts inside, has a shot, and that will be the final action of the first. He scored a couple like that, hasn't he? And he may have even had the chance to do that a couple of times prior in this first half, and I think that time there was third time lucky but not so lucky.
He just needs that little bit of space to flick it onto the right foot, and he's very, very dangerous. That wasn't as well taken as I've seen some of his efforts, but
well,
still.
It's half time here. The first half an hour went by quite quickly. It wasn't too much action, but that final 10-15 minutes definitely had some chances both ways, and Adelaide City sort of started to get their way into the game a little bit more as both teams head over into the change rooms to reset for a big second half here. It's half time between West Torrens, Birkalla and Adelaide City. It's 0-0. Welcome back to Jack Smith Park. Second half not too far away in this Federation Cup round 2 matchup between West Torrens, Birkalla and Adelaide City. Must remind you it is also coinciding with the preliminary rounds in the Hahn Australia Cup. Both teams back on the park. Referees back out. Coaching staff make their way off the pitch, Simon, and that first half was anything to go by. I think Birkalla maybe had the upper hand for most of it, but Adelaide City came out that last 10 minutes and they started to create a little bit more, so they'll want to come out on the front foot now. And you'd think maybe either of these teams would love an early goal just to relax and maybe try and get the result over the line here. Otherwise we could be here for an extra 30. I hope not, because I'm hungry.
Well, I've just seen a change happen for Adelaide City. So
tell us, mate, what's happened?
Nicholas franchise is going on. I can't tell you who's coming off it yet, but
Franchise off, and it looks like
franchise
Jean-Paul Mpembe. So Mpembe lasted 45 minutes in his first outing for Adelaide City. Hopefully no injury to worry about, hopefully just management of the player. Given that he hasn't played yet this season, I don't think he played much in the pre-season at all. So
I thought franchise had a good one during the weekend against Playford. Plenty of support running up front, so that's maybe the tactic. Had a look at some of the player stats afterwards, and the stats indicated that perhaps he struggled a bit, but you know, plenty of support up forward. That's what he was going for, so that's what he'll hopefully try to do tonight to be the difference for Adelaide City.
Well, just as we just saw there, Dorber played that ball over the top and looked for Kitano. Safe to say the last 10 minutes, Adelaide City really saw that as a vantage point with Morris not having the pace to keep up with Kitano. So they may look to do that again this second half and really put him under the pump as Hall leaves it very, very late to distribute that ball and gets away with it. Now it's Latanzio. He's got pace to burn, beats Welsh. Might have to go himself here. Ashworth comes across, might be lucky to escape a booking. He is, looks like he's not going to be booked on that occasion. Latanzio was ready to pull the trigger.
Looked like the two players that he was possibly going to go to as an option would have been in offside position, so otherwise I'm sure he would have tried to launch there.
Adelaide City gaffer Vaspar's not too impressed that there was no yellow card shown there, making his point that there was actually 2 incidents, obviously the Welsh one prior and then the second one.
We're a little bit too far back to pick up the bench talk. That's always good fun at some of the
Yeah,
grounds where we're right on top of the bench.
Adjust the earpiece here, but that's all right. It's going to be Binyam Kabete over the ball. He lines up, has a go, it's on target, but unfortunately, with the form that Nicholas Harpers is in, you're going to need it to be very close to the apex of the goal for it to go in. That one was moving a little bit in the air, but Harpers has been in great form, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's found himself back at NPL after making that move to State League 1, and it's a great pickup for West Torrens Birkalla. He's been so solid, and even just his leadership as well. Flags up. Cheeky little chip, but not going to be an issue.
Yeah, the flag went up quite quickly then, and
I was chatting to someone whose kids play with West Torrens Birkalla as juniors, and they found it really entertaining to watch one of the senior games here and sit behind Nicholas Harpers and just observe how well he communicates to his team and just the leadership that he shows as well.
yeah, it's the best way to learn, especially if you've got, you know, a player like that, and obviously the captain, the leader of the club, to see how they communicate. And to learn at such a young age is also a bonus.
And led by example in that first half as well. There was that save that looked like it was beyond him, but somehow stretches and just with that last-ditch effort managed to get a finger to it and stop a goal, which could have changed the complexion of this game, because it would have been 40-odd minute goal, putting Adelaide City up just before half-time.
Yates funds Dorigo. Dorigo can't control it. Goes all the way back to Hall. He goes long. Morris wins the header in the air. I'll tell you what was quite dangerous from Kitano on that forward play was the official's flag went up very, very quickly for that offside. He still continued on, tried to chip the keeper, and he's on a yellow card. So not very clever from him. Be one of the worst ways to lose a man so early after half-time for something that you could avoid. And fortunately, he wasn't shown that second yellow card.
Maybe
as Matsumoto looks to be doing a little dance in front of us here. Not sure if we got that on the camera.
I think, yeah, maybe trying to take advantage of the fact that, you know, you'd still feel pretty unfortunate to get a yellow card for that level of cheek, but nonetheless, you don't want to test the ref, do you?
No. Christophilos clips this one in. Welsh is there. Well won in the air by Dorba. Matsumoto has a go on the left. You could see the idea. We were right behind that. He wanted that top left-hand corner.
Yeah, well, it did curl back in a little bit.
He put his hands on his head like it was really close, but it wasn't. It wasn't close at all.
It did come back, but not that much. He's a really exciting player to watch. I really enjoy him. He's definitely got a bit of a swagger and his you know, a unique style in the way that he plays. Matsumoto.
Obviously a championship-winning player with Campbelltown City last year, as he just brings that one down on a dime. But Dorba wins it. Kipete. Matsumoto's there. Kipete again. Still with it, Kipete. Gets into the box but loses it. Maybe had to pull the trigger a little bit earlier there. Just held it a fraction too long.
We're singing Matsumoto's praises, but he put Morris under real pressure there.
Franchisi can't track that one down. So a little bit of energy from Adelaide City to start this half. Harpus will take the goal kick. So the first 5 minutes has flown by in this second half. Still no goals to speak of, but Adelaide City doing all the attacking so far. Familiar faces just wandered in to watch this second half. It's the one and only Zoid Sakani.
Back on familiar ground.
Kitano wins the header. Now it spills out. Buko with some space. Got Dorba on his right, uses him, or Dorba gives it away. Conway clips in, wins it. Now he's away. Probably been the most dangerous player on the park. Dorigo can't control it. Brazan goes to ground and wins the free kick.
There's definitely some contact between Yates. So he's trying to get the last word with the official, but
this time it's Stav Galekis, not too happy with the decision.
It's like a cycle,
We
isn't
can't
it?
all win, can we? Welsh, as calm as ever, but he gives that one away. Dorba finds Kitano. Might get it back, Dorba. He does. He clips it a high little ball into the box. Harpus comes and spills it. Matsumoto, in the end, stops it from going out for a corner. And Birkalla nearly handed it on a silver platter there to Adelaide City.
Yeah, they're looking a little bit vulnerable at the back at the moment. A couple little slip-ups and he just moved it out from the back, not finding their player, just looking a little bit sloppy, and Adelaide City are not going to let them get away with that.
Tribete into the box again and doesn't pull the trigger, loses possession. Conway ultimately does the same thing, going the other way. Now it's Brazan, gives it away, so we're seeing some quite sloppy passes from both teams at the moment. And you mentioned Birkalla coming out a little bit slow, but Adelaide City have also ramped up their intensity considering what they started like in the first couple of minutes of the first half. But It also makes a difference when you come out and the other team expects it to be similar to what it was in the first half. And then they find themselves in a vulnerable position. That one's over the top. Conway might be away here. Oh, he's tried to control it with his head and couldn't quite do so. Bucco finds Franchisi. Franchisi goes all the way back to John Hall.
There's something about the way that Adelaide City presses as well. Although they do put them under a lot of pressure, they kind of do it patiently as well. But when they do win possession, that first pass to open up space comes real quick.
Matsumoto, sorry to cut you off. Matsumoto again nearly gave it to Kitano. Harpus was coming one way, Simon. Matsumoto tried to control it with his right foot on the inside, and Kitano, fortunately for West Torrens Birkalla, they get away with it. And they win a free kick out of all that. I didn't quite see what happened on the second challenge.
Yeah, I think there was a collision of legs there, and Ashworth is still holding his leg. Looks like a trainer might be called on here, maybe not yet. Putting the shin pad back in, so maybe ready to go in a sec.
Taking his time to get up is Ashworth. Harpus will restart play with a free kick.
Thought he was checking on him. Putting in some overtime as club physio.
Christophilos finds Welsh. Yates can't find a teammate. Given away. Bucco, he can. He finds Latanzio. Latanzio's away. Falls for Cabete on the far side. Into the box. Has a strike. And another great save by Harpus. We mentioned the form he's been in. It's going to take something special to beat him. And that time there he got airborne to save that one to his left.
Yeah, looked like another single arm save. Shot released just outside of the 18-yard box and had plenty behind it, but Harpus has plenty of confidence.
It's going to be a short corner. Bucco, he's going to get it back. He's going to find Kitano, who tried to find Brazan, who was in an offside position, let the ball go, and it goes out for a goal kick. So maybe a wasted opportunity there for Adelaide City.
Or chance for West Torrens Birkalla here just to try to get a bit of momentum back. If they can slow things down, which it doesn't look like Adelaide City's going to let them do it.
No, they've definitely come out with more intensity, haven't they?
Yeah, really aggressive with the press. I mean, look how much
Dorber nearly
pressure they're under.
Dorber nearly sniped his way in there. Dorigo does well. And DeJanto finds Conway on this right-hand side. He looks up. Finds Dorigo! Oh! Goodness me!
An absolute rifle in the end to put in the back of the net.
And I'll tell you what, this gentleman here with the white cap is Jonathan Dorigo's dad, and he is very impressed with that finish.
Conway was really, really composed on that right-hand side, just took the time.
And the club president, Amina Yubi, comes over to Rick Dorigo and said, "Did you see that?" I bet you he's happy with that one.
Extra style points when you put it in the back of the net off the roundhouse kick. What a way to break the deadlock.
Well, we've been talking about how Adelaide City come out and a bit more pressure, a bit more this and a bit more that, but it was Adelaide City who have conceded the first goal, Simon, and they find themselves behind.
Oh.
They might need to maybe think about bringing on the services of Paddy Carachia, who can certainly take the game by the scruff of the neck. He's been close to Adelaide City's best player to start this season. I've also got Yared Abachu on the bench, who's missed the last couple with injury.
That attack from Conway looked a lot different to what he was. I mean, for starters, he was sort of placed on the left-hand side, and that's where most of his attacks have launched from. But that point really, really deep on the right-hand side, took it all the way towards the corner, and he sent that long cross in. And He was rewarded for his patience and carrying that so deep.
Well, we spoke so highly of Conway as Bucco tries the Bucco-esque attempt at goal.
Yeah,
Definitely seen him do that before. But we spoke about how Conway had been so dangerous, looking like breaking that deadlock in the first half, and then it was him who provided the assist on that occasion. Dorigo, as again we mentioned in the first half, was most of the times the only one in the box. They couldn't pick him out. Turns out when you do pick that player out, he's going to make the most of it. Here's Dorba. Tries to find Kabede, but he's beaten to it by Ashworth, and it goes out for a goal kick. So Birkalla all of a sudden got their tails up here.
Well, they got to be careful here because we mentioned that Adelaide City came out with some extra intensity at a half time. Now 60 minutes and down 1-0. Seems like they're about to crank things up to 11. Interesting to see if another change comes from them as well. Can't see any movement on either bench at the moment.
No, there's players warming up down to our right here, but to be honest, the Adelaide City warm-ups are getting more vigorous from what I can see, but they might not need it yet because here goes Kabede. He can't find a teammate, and it goes out for a corner. So just maybe something out of nothing to get Adelaide City back even here. Booker's going to head over to take this one. Previous one, it looked like he was going to swing it in with his left foot, then went short. Let's see what he's going to conjure up this time. This time it's going to be the out-swinging right-footed corner. Can he find a teammate in the box? Bucco delivers. It's deep. Dorba's at the back post, but he can't win the header. It's going to go out for a throw-in on the far side from that corner, the near side of the camera. So maybe another chance gone begging for Adelaide City.
Stavgalekis is just giving some instructions on the Birkalla bench at the moment as well, so it looks like a change is going to be imminent there.
We might get a touch here.
There you go, Con, all yours.
Nearly.
No, wasn't going to do the Nick Harper's dive off the
No.
scaffold.
You only do silly things once, mate. City go forward. Latanzio tries to beat three of them on his own. Nearly does. The goal scorer, Dorigo, clears, finds Conway. He finds Balamba, who's got Christophilis on his left. Comes back inside to Yates. Birkalla just happy now to maybe have a spell of possession, even though they take the lead here in the second half. Still under a little bit of pressure from Adelaide City. Dorigo couldn't quite control it. Kalo goes all the way back. Sorry, that was Weston. Ashworth wins the header, and Christophilis hooks his foot through that one and clears it. And DeJanto finds Conway all by himself on the far side. Did he control it with his hand? No. Balamba. One way, the other. Balamba. Oh! Tricked everybody. And the referee says that John Hall saved that.
Yeah, right. Only saw it go just over the crossbar there, but it was a great ball from Andy Janto to find Conway on the left-hand side. Palamba's just so composed with the ball at his feet and able to launch that.
So, a somewhat gift given here. Looked like it cleared the crossbar. I know John Hall's big, but I didn't think he was that big. Christophilis will get the chance to swing it in, Simon. Matsumoto's come short, but going to be swung in. Goes deep. Conway's there. Goes for the bicycle. I tell you what, when you make no connection like that, it hurts.
Yeah, but if he did.
But if he did, he would have got up and celebrated. Brazan. Here goes Adelaide City. Brazan again. He's got Yates for company. He's got a couple of options inside. Doesn't choose to use him. Now he almost loses the ball. Bucco. Yates. And on the far side now, it's Franchisi. Franchisi finds Kitano. No, he doesn't because he misses the ball or couldn't quite get to it. And Harpus saves the day.
Another ball finding Conway. Onto Balumba again. The way these two have linked up tonight, really impressive.
Bucco intercepts that one. Now it's Gutierrez. Hall. Finds Weston. Weston thought that Cabete was gone. Latanzio made the run. He wins the ball. Now Latanzio picks it up. He's got some space. Cabete's there. Oh, the tackle comes in. Which way is the referee given this? He hasn't pointed any way yet. He does have the yellow card out though. It looks like it might be Harry Ashworth that's going to pick up the yellow card.
Just calming the situation at the moment. Yeah, it does show him the yellow card as soon as he gets up.
Right on the edge of the box, it's Harry Ashworth that picks up the yellow card.
Saved by probably about less than a metre, I'd say.
Yeah, well, it is now because he's moved it back. I think they're suiting themselves here. Bucco. Been around long enough to do whatever he wants, I guess. And I'll tell you what, it is in Nicholas Bucco range. I think anywhere inside the halfway line is Bucco range, but certainly from just outside the box. Cabete is also over the ball. He struck the last free kick. But I'd be very, very surprised if it's anyone else but Nicholas Bucco hitting this one. Referee blows the whistle. Bucco. And safe to say that is not his best effort.
Opposing crowd always seems to enjoy when Nicholas Bucco misses. There's a nice little prop from the West Torrens Birkalla crowd when that was sent way over.
Looks like a couple of changes coming up for West Torrens Birkalla. Cohen Morris looks to be making his way off.
Yeah, Charlie Devereaux and Zach Becker look to be.
Yeah, and Balamba, as we mentioned, another standout performer tonight, makes his way off. Morris doesn't seem to be injured, but possibly that pace factor at the back with what Adelaide City's throwing at them in this second half has probably forced that change. And as you mentioned, Charlie Devereaux, former Adelaide City player, of course, and championship winner with Adelaide City, comes on. As does Zach Becker. And at this rate, we're not going to have any match balls left if they keep getting kicked onto the roof and into the school and into the footy ground.
Looks like there might be yet one more change for Birkalla, just looking at the bench.
Another couple of players making their way down to receive final instructions. Adelaide City forward through Dorber. Franchisi clips it in. Kitano. Latanzio. Oh, gives it away cheaply. Maybe a little bit too casual. Weston goes over his head. Gutierrez finds Bucco. Can Bucco spark his team and find that equalizer? Laurie Latanzio running at Matsumoto. Gets into the box. Brazan. Bucco might have another go. Brazan. Weston in a forward position and wins a corner. So Adelaide City really ramping up the pressure here. Starting to find passes in and around the 18-yard box, which is always a good sign when you're going forward. And I thought Bucco was going to pull the trigger on that one, but I think it was a little bit too far to his right, and in the end he found Brazan, and then they worked it nicely. And Bucco gets a chance to deliver yet again. It's deep. Harpers comes and punches. And it's Becker on that far side. sends Dorber for a hot dog. Literally into the canteen. Dorigo does very similar to his opponent. Becker, Dorigo, already scored one, gets into the box. Christophilos clips it in. Conway over his head. Yohei Matsumoto finds Conway again. Devro, Conway, one-on-one with Buko. Buko does very well and comes out on top. Showing his defensive prowess as well is Nicholas Buko.
Yeah, Conway was trying to just make his way into that little pocket there where he delivered that cross that Van Dorigo on the end of it a little bit earlier to break the deadlock, but it's a dangerous position for him, but Adelaide City captain had him under control in the end.
Matsumoto has to deal with that despite the calls of keeper from Harpus. No risk taken. And DeGianto tangles with Laurie Latanzio. Laurie Latanzio comes out on top. Brazan finds Kabete in a wider position now. He's got the overlap from Weston, doesn't use him. Matsumoto's there again. Clears, but it's blocked. It falls to Buko in a dangerous position. Whips the cross in. Hashworth. Appeals of handball. Waved away by Brinkworth, the referee. Adelaide City looks to rebuild again from the back, Simon. Again, they're putting that pressure on.
Yeah. Definitely piling it on and trying to get that one back. On the flip side, West Torrens Birkalla looks to be getting ready to make a change with Mason Abbey ready to go.
Into the box now, it's Franchisi. So one of those half-time the only half-time substitution was Franchisi, who can get forward very quickly and provide an attacking option from a wide area. That time he found himself in the middle of the park, just couldn't quite get the strike in to trouble Harpus. As we see another couple of substitutions, it looks like Ryan Yates is coming off and it's Mason Ayubi coming on, is it?
It is Mason Ayubi, yep. Ryan Yates, I believe, is on that yellow card as well and put in a decent shift.
Did Yates pick up a yellow card? Did I miss something?
First half, or am I just assuming he did?
It was too long ago,
he was
mate.
Threatened it a couple.
Too long ago. Anyhow, play goes on. Matsumoto clears. It's going to be an Adelaide City throw. Really trying to park themselves into this final third of Birkalla. Just under 20 minutes to go. West Torrens Birkalla find themselves 1-0 up thanks to a Jonathan Dorigo volley from a Conway cross earlier in the second half. Brazan goes to floor again, and it is the goal scorer Dorigo giving away the free kick. Again in another somewhat dangerous position, but given the quality that we've seen from set pieces so far, this one would need to be the best of the lot to trouble Nick Harpus in his goal.
Looks to be a little bit of activity happening on the Adelaide City bench as well. I think it's Karachia getting ready to...
It is Paddy Karachia getting ready, getting some instructions from Vas Pass and the one and only Stevie Pepper. Buko might go for goal from this distance. Clips it in. It's dangerous. Hands were on the shoulders of Matt Dorber, but play went on. Devro looks for Dorigo, finds him, but doesn't have too much forward. Has to hold it up. Here's Ayubi, back to Dorigo. They make the forward run. Comes Conway, Hall, they clash, they go to ground. Free kick Adelaide City. I think John Hall got enough on that to warrant the play to go on. Not too sure why there's too many arms going up here in front of us, but looks like a legitimate collision to me, and Hall got a hand to it.
He came off second best though in the end. Although Conway's still on the ground too. That earlier pass that found Dorigo looked really dangerous.
Again, it was just the fact that Dorigo looked up and didn't have anything in the box at the time. Had to hold it up. In the end, they got half a chance from it.
Just
you have a look at the
saw
replay.
The replay, and John Hall copped all of the knee in that one. So he'll take his time to get up here and Adelaide City might even prepare a sub, depending on how he's looking down there, but he hasn't got up from the ground yet. Conway's just made his way to his feet.
So a bit of a stoppage here for John Hall to receive some treatment. Not sure if it was in the head, Simon. I didn't see the replay.
Yeah.
It was in the head, so...
Yeah, he was lowering himself to get the ball and, yeah, ended up around head height, so unfortunate. Earlier, Dorigo you saw him look up as he tried to wind up to potentially find John Hall off his line, and it was a bit of a scramble for him to get into position and even to put himself in a spot to block a follow-up. John Hall is on his feet now, just getting checked on.
So he's back to his feet, John Hall, but possibly a little cut to the head. Excuse me. Hopefully nothing else to worry about for John Hall. Referee Brinkworth just comes over and says, no, tape it up, please. I'm not having that. So John Hall's going to have to get his hair redone after this one, I think.
And the change has just been made for Adelaide City.
No, the referee is happy with it, sorry. So that change was made, sorry, yep.
Yep. Cabete coming off, making way for Patrick Carachia.
So as Paddy Carachia normally does, he comes on and plays that freedom role and just picks the ball up where he can. You can see him now, which looks like he's in that defensive midfield position, but no doubt he'll try and find his way forward and break some lines as well. The header's won. Dorber somewhat held back by his defender, but subtly enough that there was no infringement. Harpers has the ball. So that was quite a lengthy stoppage there, so we'll see how that affects the end of the game. Birkalla go forward. Devro. Conway. Becker. Edge of the box. Becker has a go. Becker!
Oh.
I'll tell you what, that's one way to test the goalkeeper out after he's just received treatment, is make him dive at full length to his left.
It was a hell of a shot. Becker just getting his toe to it, giving him enough space to launch that, and seemed only to have just missed that top right-hand corner. Well, John Hall set for flight going after that, so it would have been a challenging one to get to.
I don't think there could be anything worse than receiving treatment for a head knock and then having to dive on an artificial pitch with concrete underneath you.
Well, the way he went for it, he didn't seem too phased.
Ball over the top. Dorber looking to repeat the dose from last week where he slipped in between the two defenders. He went first time. Harpus was off his line, but fortunately enough that the Dorber effort took a little bit of pace off it and Harpus was able to catch it quite comfortably.
It's so dangerous coming in off of that long ball, Adelaide City. We saw it last week, but Harpus just commands that goal so well. Here come West Torrens Birkalla.
They go forward again. Conway, been so dangerous so far in this match. As we said, he couldn't find the score sheet in the first half, but he provided the assist in the second. Harpus goes long. The offside flag will go up on the near side. Play restarts. Adelaide City go all the way back to the goalkeeper, Hall. Gutierrez. Still in possession with the ball, Adelaide City. They find Bucco. Looks for Latanzio. Does well to bring it down, but Yubi puts it out for a throw-in.
Weston floated way forward then. He was
Yeah,
calling
he did,
for that
didn't he?
ball. So
Dorber now breaks a line. It's given away. It's given back to Adelaide City. Karachia. Buko. Can he get a shot away? Kitano. Buko. Dorba. Side netting. That was probably their best move for the match, Simon.
Adelaide City just looking so dangerous here at the moment.
One-touch football, isn't it?
When they do get possession, they just move it so quickly and just put West Torrens Birkalla under so much pressure. They've got to be careful, though, because with how aggressively they've been attacking, they have left some spots open here and there for West Torrens Birkalla. And another goal for them will just about seal up this match tonight. But on the flip side, if Adelaide City do manage to equalise, then they've got another half hour to get another one to put themselves in front and take the game before penalties.
Conway does ever so well again. Wins the ball on the near side, finds Christophilis on the far side. West Torrens Birkalla look for that second and ultimately maybe to put the game to bed. Ayubi clips it in. Hall will comfortably collect that one as we see the Adelaide City substitutes make their way back again, and we may see a double, if not maybe a triple change here. Sorry, we won't see a triple change because there's only 2 outfield players left. Another noticeable absentee we haven't spoken about is obviously Bruce Kamau, not playing tonight for Adelaide City. I think he's still a little bit underdone from what I've heard and not being risked here tonight. Buko. Brazan. Plenty of time for these players in the black and white stripes to pick out their options. Karachia. Can he be the man to spark Adelaide City's revival in this one? Franchisi gives that one away and it goes out for a goal kick.
Have that lengthy stoppage as well when John Hall got collected and needed a little bit of treatment too. So although we've only got 10 minutes left on the clock, we may see a fair bit more.
Well, if West Torrens Birkalla are to win this game, Simon, they're going to have to do something which they haven't done all season so far, and that is keep a clean sheet.
I thought you were going to say get a win.
Well, yeah, that too, but they've got 9 minutes to do both of those, which will put them through to the next round. Matsumoto sees that one out for a throw-in.
Well, at least we know we will see a result tonight regardless, given that it is knockout football. No points to share. And maybe if West Torrens Birkalla do get a win, might give a bit of a boost to their NPL chances ahead of round 5.
Yubi loses out to Karachia. Buko has got Weston in some space, but Ayubi tracks back to block that pass. Now they go sideways. Brazan clips it in. Kitano's there. Sorry, it's Latanzio with his effort from about 16 yards, not troubling the goalkeeper.
Just having a bit of a look at next round of NPL. Modbury Jets for Adelaide City, not this weekend, but the one after. West Torrens Birkalla facing the struggling FK Beograd.
Well, it's safe to say that they've both got games coming up against struggling teams because Modbury Jets have had a really tough start to this season. Birkalla, go to Beograd, who pulled off the probably biggest upset last week, beating Metro Stars. So it's been a bit of a weird up and down season so far, and we've only played 4 rounds. Gutierrez. Karachia finds himself in the centre of the 2 centre-backs at the moment. Just trying to change things up a little bit, Adelaide City, to find that equaliser. Franchisi. Buko, back to Franchisi. Now it's Karachia again. Can they find someone in a dangerous forward position to grab an equaliser? Karachia. Gutierrez. Now he's got Weston. Kitano. Goes back to Weston. He tangles with Ayubi. Now it's a 50-50 ball. Matsumoto comes away with it. Tried to release Christophilos, but turns it over. Buko. And again, Adelaide City don't make the most of that attack. Birkalla go forward. Conway goes out for a throw.
Meanwhile, that clock just ticking, 84 minutes now.
Adelaide City are going to make that change. So Yared Abitu looks like he's going to come on, as well as Luca Yorman. So the goal scorer from last week who won the game for Adelaide City is going to come on. And they would love for a repeated dose.
2 goals in extra time in the 8 minutes of extra time last week. I think we're going to have a decent slice of extra time tonight as well. So if he wants to make a habit of scoring those late goals, Luca Yorman, now's the time to do it. Dorber's still out there as well. I believe he was another one that scored a late goal last week. So any potential to score after 90 minutes.
Here is Laurie Latanzio. He's got Yared Abitu, the fresh player, to his right. He uses him. Abitu puts it into the box but can't beat Harry Ashworth. Abitu back. A very, very physical player, Yared Abitu, and another one of those very good at getting under the skin of his opponent. A very experienced player as well. Carachia, he's got Franchisi on his right. Waits for him to make the run. Drags the player away. Now it's Brazan. Can they get a ball into the box or find a way through? They go all the way back to Kilo. He clips one in. Kitano. Dorber. Dorber's taken the captain's armband, as we saw Nicholas Buko substituted off as he walks past the camera. Not too impressed by the looks of it. I didn't actually see the other player who came off. Looks like it's
yeah, I missed that myself. Adelaide City clearly in a bit of a hurry to get it done at this point.
Looked like it came clearly off the head of West Torrens Birkalla's player, but the throw-in goes the other way. Matsumoto. Can't find a teammate from that throw-in. Dorber picks it up. Now it's Yorman. Does well to get past Matsumoto.
Gamesmanship there.
Oh, Ashworth lent the arm out. Play goes on. Conway hunts down the ball, but Kalo gets there first. Laurie Latanzio on onto the right-hand side now. Gutierrez. Abitu. Back to Gutierrez. Might look to get this one into the box, Gutierrez. He does. Can he find a teammate? No. Ashworth wins the header. Devro puts that one into the open space. Becker chases it down. Gives away the foul. A couple of players maybe just gasping for that extra bit of breath, fresh air, as the dying stages tick over, approaching the 89th minute now.
Yeah, it's feeling really desperate out there at the moment. You can hear some of the language from either bench. changing up a little bit. Something's happening in the middle of the field here. Looks like Andy Janto is involved.
Possibly just a few little handbags to sort out.
Yeah, Abatu was in the mix there.
No surprise that it's Nathan Andijanto at the bottom of that one.
I was
and
impressed.
Yared Abatu.
I was impressed with that, though. I've never seen someone sitting down with their head only about at waist height, having to go at the person standing over them. But
seems like it's continuing here. Now the referee's going to have a chat with Abatu.
We know Andy Janto's not shy, so for that to be happening, I can't say I'm surprised.
And there goes the yellow card for Abatu for
and Andy Janto with
very
a
much
celebration.
Continuation of the chatter.
Well,
let's just put it that way.
6 yellow cards shown last time these two teams played. Adelaide City picking up 4 of them.
Harpus goes long. Lucky there's only a minute left, otherwise we could be, well, a minute of normal time. So,
I think there might be more yellow to see yet, whether it's Birkalla celebrating after 90 minutes a bit or...
And there is another challenge by Yared Abatu. He's only been on the park for a matter of minutes, but he is walking a tightrope already. He got booked earlier. Well, when I say earlier, 30 seconds ago, he got booked and left one in on that challenge. He's very fortunate. Is that what you're going to say?
Trying to put it politically correct, but you know, there's been a couple of times where we've seen him get a quiet word and he sort of got away with it. So fortunate
Ashworth
or well played, either way. He's
loses out that time. Sorry to cut you off, but I thought that was a bit more fast forwarded than what it was. Matsumoto slides in, Brazan, and they commit the free kick.
Just got to be really careful here because given how heated things are at the moment, just hit the 91-minute mark. West Torrens Birkalla just have to hold on for a little bit longer.
I know there's still probably maybe 2 or 3 minutes to play as we're into the second minute now, but this could be Adelaide City's final chance to maybe get the goal to send this one into extra time. If not, they will find themselves out of the cup. Brazan clips it in. Kitano's there, and it is a goal! Yuki Kitano comes up with the equalising goal. The referee's got his yellow card out. I'm not too sure who this is going to go to. Maybe Dorber.
Looks like a couple of players are getting the yellow card there. But it was around this time of the game last weekend that Adelaide City equalised.
Well,
and actually went on to win the game. So
goals.
Well, we know we're probably going to be going to extra time if we don't see another goal within regular time here. So, you know, I'd almost guarantee
no way. Well, I mentioned that it would be almost Adelaide City's last real chance before it got desperate, is what I was trying to say, and they
You don't
found
think
a
they were
goal.
looking desperate enough? Adelaide City seem to like some drama. Not that we're complaining. Have us out late on a school night, why not?
Nicholas Booker just having some words through the crowd to the other bench. I'll tell you what, Vass Parks is a very cool customer, isn't he? And he looks cool too.
Yeah, it's true. I'm not quite sure how to unpack that, but yeah, he is.
Like, all that was happening and just stood there. That's why they said he signed
Ice cold.
Yeah.
We know there's some fiery characters on the bench, so
Dorber wants to win this one. Ullman won the game for Adelaide City last week. Wins a throw for his team this time. Here he is again. Gets into the box. Ullman still. Latanzio, Carachia, Brazan. Clips it in. He didn't clip it in. He had to go for that far corner, but Harpus there.
It was at the back post where Ullman...
Conway looks to have handled the ball on the far side, but
I was just going to say I was at that back post where it almost found its way in there. That Yeoman picked it up in the 98th minute last week. Minutes.
Lewis Kilo goes long. Dorba jumped very, very early. Now it's Ayubi who's going to pick this one up. We're into the 5th minute of added time, and I think there's maybe still a 1 or 2 to go. Gets into the box, but Gutierrez gets a toe in there to put it out for a throw-in. As we see now the West Torrens Birkalla side of the fence becoming a little bit nervous, a little bit of hands in pockets sort of stuff happening, hoping that they can find another goal here to win this one in regulation time.
Always had the potential to finish up this sort of way at 90 minutes this game, even though things were tied up at half time. Just tell with these two sides that anything can happen.
Ullman wins the header. Dorba beats Matsumoto. He's got him for pace as well. Looks for Kitano. Kitano got Laurie Latanzio. Can Latanzio get a strike hit on goal? It's deflected, and the corner will have to do. But Adelaide City looking to win it late again, just like they did last week at Playford Patriots when they played their away game last weekend. I think it was 98th minute last week.
98.
It's only the 96th at the moment, so
plenty of time.
Still time. It's going to be delivered by Brazan. He clips it in. It's deep. It's cleared by Birkalla, but only as far as Paddy Carachia. He's going to look to get this one back in. Yes, he is. It's deep. Abachu's the target. Brazan picks it up. Beats one. Can he get it back into the box? No, he can't. But it's only going to go to Franchisi, the clearance. Can he clip it back in? He does. Kitano, the goal scorer. Dorba, a strong challenge. Kitano again. Can he get a shot away? No. Tries to clip it into the back post. Brazan's there. Falls. Brazan still. The deflection. Goodness me. It's all happening in the 97th minute. And guess what else has happened in the 97th minute? The referee has blown his whistle. And that brings to conclusion what has ended up being an exciting second half. But we're going to be here for a little bit longer.
So I got a text message from one of our NPL co-commentators. In the first part of the game, he said, should I go down there? And I was thinking it's a bit of an arm wrestle this game, spending a lot of time in the middle. But I was thinking to myself, anything can happen between these two teams. And
well,
90-plus minute equaliser, extra time.
I'm assuming you're talking about the local games, Johnny Kecko, because he loves football every night of the week.
This will be one of his few nights off of the year, I think.
Well, Johnny, if you're listening, we've got half an hour still to go. It's finished after 90 minutes, 1-1. We're going to go into extra time. There's a lot of chatter happening, not only between players, but now I also heard Stav Galekis talking. Well, didn't hear what he said, but he was talking to the assistant referee who has been listening to him talk for the last 45 minutes while he's running up and down the line. I'm not too sure what that conversation was about, but you just look at the differences at the moment, and West Torrens Birkalla, they look a little bit deflated. They thought they had that game won. In the 95th minute, they thought they'd won it, and then that free kick that led to it, I think, I'm not going to say yes or no, but the free kick that led to it was the free kick they were unhappy was given. Kitano popped up and scored the equaliser after Jonathan Dorigo smashed home to put Birkalla up earlier on in the second half.
Just watching Nicholas Harpus try to rally his men for this extra time here. Yeah, as you said, the body language just lacking a little bit, whereas on the flip side, Adelaide City just finishing 90 minutes with a bit of extra wind in their sails. And they know they can score late. They did it last week. In fact, they did it twice after 90 minutes last week. So still plenty of action to play out. Jack Smith Park. Got a nice little crowd here tonight that's getting treated to some bonus football. Why not?
Well, if you love football, you've got another half an hour here at Jack Smith Park. Quick little shout out to our photographer that we see all the time in Tonus Pagonis. He's in Melbourne tonight. He's actually watching the AFL kind, but he's going to be there for the weekend's game of Adelaide United travelling to take on Melbourne Victory. I tell you what, there's a fair few people heading over for that game. So we've got cup football here in South Australia and the original rivalry game in the A-League. Hopefully we see a few belters over the weekend. But here in the southwest of South Australia, when I say southwest, I mean not too far south and a little bit inner of the west, it's going into extra time. So the first 15 minutes, we'll see Adelaide City kick to the right of screen, having gotten away with a late equaliser to send this one into where it is right now as we kick off. Safe to say, Simon, though, Adelaide City with that equaliser will have their tails up going into this extra little period now, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely. And also West Torrens Birkalla just in that last 10 minutes or so that we've seen, not really doing much on the attacking side, just absorbing Adelaide City. So now they have to switch gears again to get something happening. Adelaide City bench not happy with a...
I didn't think Vaspaha spoke, but he just did then.
I was going to say, he's...
oh, another challenge
wrong.
waved away. Let's just put it this way, tempers are going to flare, I think, in the next 29 minutes as the scoreboard's not working, so hopefully we can keep track of where we're at in this first half.
Yeah, we got it here.
Karachi's going to pick that loose ball up. Dorba's going to come away with it. And Karachi is there again. So the fresh legs, strong challenge by Welsh. Dorba. Now it's Gutierrez. Waits for Dorba. Clips it deep. Oh, Harpers wanted him to let it go out for a goal kick. Becker didn't want to take the risk, maybe unsure. Franchisi comes in, misses the challenge. Conway. Dorigo. Still full of energy by the looks. Ball stays in. Conway with Abachu. Abachu wins that challenge.
Well,
and I'll tell you what, there's more than one referee out here at the moment. There's about 20. And they're all wearing different colours. I think Tom Brinkworth's had a quite decent game. I don't think he's got much wrong at all. He's let it flow.
Yeah, well, the opinions from the sideline seem to get a little bit more strong after 90 minutes, don't they? But
maybe everyone just wanted to go home.
got work tomorrow.
Yeah, it is a Thursday night. Latanzio brings it down nicely. Franchisi looks for Kitano. Oh, Harpers comes out. Did he use a hand? No, he didn't, the referee said. But Latanzio picks it up. Harpers has to get back. Latanzio still there. Gets to the byline. Clips one back across. Couldn't beat Matsumoto at the near post. But boy, that was close by Harpers coming out full steam. He nearly struck a hand. That would have been dangerous. Would have been either a... Definitely would have been a free kick, and depending on what colour card the referee thought about bringing out, as Conway has a go from distance, and maybe a tiring effort from Tyrese Conway.
Oh, I keep looking over, waiting for him to sort of look like he's tiring a bit, and that final kick looked a little bit like it, but as far as his run, still offering plenty, but Adelaide City just looks so dangerous late, especially with the substitutions that they've made. Karachi is one of them, just
A little bit more energy off the bench, is it?
Yeah, seems like it.
Well, one thing that has stood out for me actually is that at about the 70th minute mark or whatever stage it was, I heard someone yell out Yohei Matsumoto, or if they said Yohei wasn't feeling right or was maybe picked up a knock, but he's still out there and he's probably looking the freshest out of everyone. But we're going to see another change now, Simon, because it looks like Harry Ashworth's night is going to be done.
Boris Glushkov.
Boris Glushkov, central defender, or can play on the right as well, I believe. So he'll come on and slot straight into the back four.
I wonder if Matsumoto has even slipped up a little bit as well at times. So maybe that's another option. But Ashworth, of course, came into the side for this game. He wasn't included last NPL round, so if he's coming off an injury.
Yeah, I think he's been playing reserves. Like I said, he missed a large chunk of the last 12 months with, I think he had a knee injury and had an operation and stuff like that. So it's always tough to come back and, well, let's put it this way, he's played through a full 90, but now that extra distance may be affecting the legs.
Applause from the bench, so they're showing some appreciation there. So
the referee trods back down and drops the ball for John Hall to restart play, because that's where we stopped. No real rush here, Adelaide City. Maybe they're going to try and leave it to the last minute of stoppage time as well to potentially win this one.
that's unlikely.
Dorber out jumped by Welsh. Welsh now picks up the loose ball. On the far side, it's Mason Ayubi. Challenged by Karachia, sees it ricocheted off of Ayubi. Adelaide City win the throw. Just over 6 minutes played of the additional 30 here at Jack Smith Park. Still 1-1 is the score. Either team looking to really throw a football punch, but more likely to throw a physical one by what we've seen in the last stages of the 90. Dorber nods it down for Karachia. Bodies off Devro. Now it's Latanzio. Ball into the box.
Crowd making their feelings known yet again.
The Adelaide City assistant coach Stevie Pepper asked for a back pass as Conway goes forward. Very tongue-in-cheek by Stevie Pepper. He looked over it, smiled while he said it, just because he knew he was going to get a reaction. That's not like Stevie Pepper at all. Very funny human being is Stevie Pepper. He'll be very happy that I've said that on air as well.
Looks like maybe yet another sub getting ready for West Torrens Birkalla here. Haven't been keeping a running tally, but
so I'm pretty certain that if you've made all your subs, or if you've got one left, if you've got that extra sixth player on the bench, you can make that in extra time. Looks like it's Austin Scambiatera. So,
well, there's your extra attacking spark. He's been really dangerous at times where he's come on. Looks like Conway's going to come off after a Really big shift from him tonight.
I was about to say he's put in a pretty good effort, hasn't he?
Absolutely.
Looks physically looks exhausted, but he's probably been best on ground. Definitely best on ground for West Torrens Birkalla. So Austin Scambiatera comes on. Scored 10 goals last season, and most of those came in the back half of the year on their way to promotion. It falls to Becker. John Hall safely claims that one.
Well, City been looking more fresh, even towards the end of part of 90 minutes. So
Franchisi goes forward. Dorigo complains that one wasn't given for handball. Here is the fresh legs of Scambiatera, as I mentioned. Scored those goals late on last year, so can score a goal. Becker has a go from distance, and Brazan goes long. Kitano in an offside position. Flag goes up.
For one, the ref's getting some applause. Potentially
It can't be all hate,
situation
mate.
there.
It can't be all hate, all right? Abitu again tangles.
Oh, it's like a couple of calls going West Torrens Birkalla's way, and even just a bit more confidence for them now as well. Looks like they're just getting a little bit of momentum back. Not far away from the midway point of this extra time, though.
Christophilos has gone over to take this one with his in-swinging left foot. Ball comes into the box. It's clipped in. Hall comes and again extends those go-go gadget arms and claims that one in the air quite safely. Kitano plays it out wide. Gutierrez back to Kitano, picking the ball up in a deep position. They want him higher up the park and in a goal-scoring position, though. And here he goes, makes that run forward. The ball gets delivered to him. Ullman back to Gutierrez. Back to Kitano. Back post delivery, Dorba. Ullman's there. Kitano's there as well as Matsumoto, who clears. Scambiatera picks up the crumbs. Paddy Carachia goes in solidly twice. Both challenges well, one by Paddy Carachia and a third by Paddy Carachia. All done with a smile on his face.
Yeah, he soaked up that appreciation from the Adelaide City supporters.
Got the round of applause that he deserved as well from supporters and coaching staff. Devro. Dorigo, great little touch inside. Clipped in. Ayubi. One-on-one with the keeper, but the flag goes up. Abitu was there as well. Adelaide City restart play as we approach the final minute of this first half of extra time. Adelaide City look to go forward again here. Dorba. Making a habit of trying to get in between defenders is Dorba.
It's just so dangerous floating around there.
Becker gets past Brazan. The referee says play on. Brazan now. He's got Ullman at the back post. Plays it inside to Kitano. Kitano loses out but wins it back. Referee says free kick to Adelaide City. So potentially the last attack of the first 15 minutes here at Jack Smith Park of additional time, extra time. Adelaide City players, especially Kitano, limping around out there, but they have made all their outfield substitutions, so they don't have any firepower left on the bench. So what's out there is going to have to get the job done for them, if that is to be the case. Brazan's going to deliver this one. It's clipped in. Abitu's there. It's nodded back across. It comes off of the West Torrens Birkalla player. Handball is the shout. Questions asked. Brinkworth said, just take the corner, please, guys.
Possibly a few too many players on yellow at this point to have too much extra to say about it.
Brazan delivers in swinger. Ayubi clears. Latanzio, Abitu flicks it towards goal. Into the arms of Harpus, who releases Ayubi. Back to Christophilos. Scambiatera. Now makes his run forward. Laurie Latanzio and Scambiatera clash. Matsumoto overlaps. Clips. Oh. I thought he was going to clip it in, but he decided to have a lash at goal. Goes out for a goal kick.
Scambiatera made an appeal.
Yeah, he got checked off the ball, but whether or not he ran into Latanzio or whether it was the other way around, I'm not too sure. But it's all in the past now. We'll just move on from that. John Hall in absolutely no rush to take this goal kick.
We're expecting a whistle any second now with 105 minutes on the clock.
Adelaide City look to go forward. Laurie Latanzio can't get there ahead of Harpus. Picks it up. Now it's Ayubi again. Karachia comes across, but he gives it away, Ayubi. Karachia, Ayubi brings him to ground. Play on. The referee says we'll come back for the initial free kick because there's no advantage there.
Karachi's just been relentless over the last 15 minutes.
He's ultimately changed the game since he come on for Adelaide City as well.
So much energy, and I think when the other players just see the continuous effort he puts in, it's sort of sets the bar for what's expected this late.
Dorigo stands right near the ball. Brazan clips it in. Abitu's there. Ullman's there. The flag goes up. It's offside, and that may be the end of the first period of extra time, and it is. So, still locked away at 1 goal apiece after the first 15 minutes of extra time. No team really looked to threaten in that first lot of 15 minutes.
I think one thing that looks a little bit concerning for me is Adelaide City they're still creating attacking options, and Dorba's just looking a real pest in the middle, just always in a dangerous position, able to make something of it, but just the attacking opportunities for West Torrens Birkalla just seem to have dried up at this point. They have got the fresh blood and Scambiatera on there, so it'll be interesting to see if they can create some opportunity in this second period of extra time. Otherwise, they might be gearing up to take some penalties in about 15 minutes or so. Just watching Scambiatera give a bit of a play-by-play of that bump a little bit earlier on. Admittedly, it did look, I thought potentially went to ground, maybe a little bit easily, but the way he's hanging on to that, maybe he was a little bit more in it than perhaps how it initially appeared from up here. So, but nonetheless, there's a job to do now.
Torrens Birkalla make their way back out for this second period of extra time. May we go the distance, Simon. May we see a penalty shootout on a Thursday night. The first and only game streamed this weekend here in South Australia. If you want to watch the rest of them over the weekend, you've got to get out there and have a look. But we might have picked the best one of the lot. Well, definitely the longest so far.
Yeah, got some bonus time in. So will be interesting to see this happen. We know Adelaide City like to seal the deal late, so see if they can recreate some of that magic that they had last week against Playford tonight.
Not sure if he's the goalkeeper coach or if he's just a fanboy at the moment, but Costa Zacharopoulos is looks like he wants to get on the park. He's just asked me, can I do something about this? And unfortunately...
Is that special commentator powers? If it is, it's the first I've ever heard of it.
Unfortunately, I can't do anything for you, Costa. Not tonight anyways. Adelaide City get the ball straight back from the kickoff. They get a goal kick. Now they're going to go forward with that long ball again. Welsh has dropped into that centre half role, which we've seen him do so often when he was in the black and blue of Adelaide Comets, and could just about play anywhere on the park, Alan Welsh. Abichu wins that one, and DeGianto brings it down nicely.
Long ball from Adelaide City that we keep seeing time and time again. Just get the feeling that that's going to potentially open right on
Laurie
cue.
Latanzio.
I've got to say, we've seen impressive performance from both keepers tonight as well. They've both been called into action at various times and making sure we've got this game all tied up going into extra time, making sure we get maximum drama on a weeknight.
So it's their fault.
That was praise.
Dorber. Jared Abichu seems to have slotted in as a central defender. Yuki Kitano. Oh, he wins the ball. Uppers comes. Kitano won the ball. Referee said play on. Kitano stays down. And more drama. More drama. Nicholas Harper's walked away from that crime scene very, very quickly, didn't he?
He's had so much courage tonight. Just really taken it upon himself to... Looks like he held his ground. The bench having a bit of a chat about it. You can hear what the crowd thinks about that. But again, Nicholas Harper's just been commanding all night. Stav Galeka's trying to get the final word to the Adelaide City bench as well.
Yeah, good luck with that with some of the characters that are on that bench tonight. Well, play will go on. Kitano's back to his feet. Birkalla gave it away prematurely, but they win it back. They go all the way back to Boris Glushkov, who finds Matsumoto. Bit of time on the ball, Matsumoto. Now it's Devereaux. Scambiatera. Becker. Comes inside. Devereaux looks to clip it over the top end. Gento won the header. Scambiatera's there. Christophilos clips it in. Cleared accidentally cleared. Now Yulman and Matsumoto.
Matsumoto getting a nice applause. And so well defended there. Just keeping the player off and winning the throw in and another chance.
Endijanto. Endijanto! Nathan Endijanto. I don't think he expected it to fall so nicely for him.
He was just getting a little bit of a word from one of the Adelaide City players. I'd love to know what was said just there. That was a cracking shot though. Burke's crowd in front of us getting to their feet.
Here's Kitano. Harper's off his line. Kitano tries the little dink over the top, but the trajectory looked good from here, but it was not in line enough to trouble Nick Harpus in the goal.
Been some serious entertainment value to this game tonight.
Yes, we will have a penalty shootout if there's no more scoring in this game, so potentially 10 plus a shootout to go. Gutierrez nods that one down to Hall. And at this rate, I actually can't pick a winner because it looks like either team could score. And both teams are getting equally as tired from what we can see.
I'm thinking Hall and Harpus in a penalty shootout situation. That's two really impressive shot stoppers that we're potentially going to see decide this game.
That ball was intended for Dorber, but he went to ground. He's still on the ground. Kitano couldn't find Yulman. Yulman wanted to swap shirts with Yowie Matsumoto. Scambiatera brings that one down, but Kilo does very well. Dorber, Latanzio, still Laurie Latanzio, loses out to Ayubi. Ayubi goes forward now. He's got Dorigo in support, but Ayubi has a go. Adelaide City prevent it from going out for a corner, but they give it away. Matsumoto, Dorigo, Matsumoto, Dorigo again. So just a couple of tired legs at the moment.
Dorigo just putting in that work there, trying to just get that ball into a deep crossing position. Yeah, the fatigue's definitely set in at this point.
John Hall goes long. Dorber. Matsumoto tried to take a screamer over the top of him, and now Dorber rides him like a little horse. What the heck just happened then?
Yeah, there's some funny business.
And now it's still going on, Matsumoto and Dorber. I'd love to see the replay of that one.
Funny things happen after 90 minutes gone.
The referee still getting some advice from over the fence as well. I think he's heard enough for one night. Dorber and Matsumoto still going at it. Now it's the Adelaide City fans getting vocal. Long throw. Dorber can't win the header. It falls though. Welsh gets a foot in there, and now it's at Birkalla away. But Scambiatera can't control the ball, and it's back in possession with Adelaide City. Yared Abatu finds Nicholas Franchisi. He finds Laurie Latanzio. Again, turns away. Dorber finds Franchisi. Brazan looks for Kitano, finds him, onside, brings it under control. Brazan again, clips it in, Dorber misses the first header, just over his head. Cleared by Birkalla. Now it's Skimby, he's got some space to run at his defender. Beats him on the outside. Can he get across into the box? No, he can't.
He's the freshest set of legs out there. So you have a feeling that if the deadlock's going to be broken in this last 5 minutes, he'll be the man to do it.
And given some timely advice by a viewer watching in. Alex Johnny Concept Milicevic trying to tell me how to do my job. But here goes Dorber. Can Adelaide City find the winner? Goes out off of Dorber, says the referee, and it's going to be a goal kick. Another shout out to Johnny Concept, Johnny Kecko. Got Johnny on my mind here. Said he's not going to make it here tonight. I can only think he's gone to get a feed somewhere. Loves to eat. Matsumoto goes back to Glushkov. Devro. Matsumoto again. Looks like Birkalla may be content with getting this one through to pinch it late. They just want to keep possession. Now they go forward. Dorigo. Scambiatera wins a corner. West Torrens Birkalla with the chance here. With only 4 minutes to go of extra time. Can they get the go-ahead goal and potential winner, Simon?
Well, at this point in the game, it's still anyone's. But it seems like penalties is where it's destined to go. I mean, Birkalla haven't been able to break a deadlock all season yet, so it only seems right.
Christophilos delivers. It's clipped in. Hall comes, Hall claims. Well, you know there can't be a draw in a penalty shootout, so they'll either win or lose if it gets to that stage. But here goes Adelaide City. Glushkov heads back the ball to Nicholas Harpus in goal. As we approach the final stages of extra time.
Like I said earlier, I'd be really excited to see both these keepers in action in a penalty shootout.
Well, both of them take up half the goal as it is, so you've got to try and find the corner to beat them. Cleared by City, but only as far as Devro. Here he is on the ball again. He's got Christophilos overlapping. Dorigo finds Christophilos again. Clips it in. Devro's there, but can't get his head to it. Dorber clears for City. Falls to Welsh. Welsh finds Matsumoto. Still got energy to burn, Matsumoto. Mason Ayubi. Welsh. Welsh gets the cross in. It's dealt with by Kilo. Looks like it's going to be a long throw into the box. And DeGento does do that. Welsh is there. Scambiatera. It falls. Can he swivel and hit? Devro.
There's a couple of minutes for quiet from the crowd there.
Yeah, that was
Birkalla built. And
if you wanted it to fall someone on the left side, it was Charlie Devro, and he unfortunately had his radar well off for that occasion.
It seemed like time slowed down while Scambiatera had his back to the goal as well, thinking what was he going to do with it.
John Hall goes long. Doesn't quite get all of that one. Gutierrez almost gives us a touch of the ball up here, but there's no one out there anymore, and that's going to take a little while to fetch. Into the last minute here. Is there going to be a winner in extra time, or are we going to go the distance and go to a penalty shootout? Dorigo battles the coach here, and DeGento has a go. It falls. Ayubi was there, and then the clearance went straight past Scambiatera. Pass back to the goalkeeper. He has to deal with it. He does.
It was painfully close to Scambiatera. He wasn't too far away from it, but he just didn't quite have the right footing to find it, but he's almost found for another effort there.
Abachu turns it over and is out of position now, but Franchisi does well enough. Eventually ends up back with Yared Abachu. He goes long. Welsh ultimately looks like he's going to win most of those balls in the air if they keep coming over the top, but we don't have much time left. Here's Scambiatera in on goal. Can they win it? Can't beat John Hall. Releases quickly. Ullman. Brazan clips it back over the top. Ullman continues to run. Can Adelaide City pinch it? Matsumoto still with Ullman. Clips it back in. Matsumoto's there. Dorba nearly pushed him through the fence and then complained. And Adelaide City don't get back, and this could continue on between Dorba and Matsumoto. So there's extra time period is in the referee's hands now. We're into additional time. It's Birkalla. They get into their attacking third. Can they win it late? Abachu wins the header. And the answer is no, Simon. We have a penalty shootout coming our way.
Well, we're destined for it tonight, weren't we? A weeknight cup game.
Yeah, the only game that we're at this weekend.
God, we've had plenty of drama. Even in that extra 30 minutes, it's almost been a bit of a game of its own. I've seen both teams just really digging deep. And now they'll give that last little bit that they still have in the tank to get a result here.
So after 90 minutes, it was locked at 1-1. After 120 minutes, it is still locked at 1-1. And this one is going to be decided from the penalty spot. And as you've prayed and wished for, you're going to see the battle of the giants in goal. Nicholas Harpus and John Hall. Who is going to stand up tall and put their team through? And one way or the other, Simon, we're going to see either Birkalla win or lose their first game this season.
Well, despite their games finishing with draws, there's been a lot of drama, even just the way that they've been approaching this season. They've just been really exciting to watch. And Adelaide City, no stranger to a bit of drama as well. Of course, they were 88th minute, a goal down. And ended up getting that win last week against Playford.
So both teams will now go through and work out who is going to take what penalty in what order. The captains will meet with the referee. Just toss the coin. Normally there's a toss for which end, and then there's also another secondary one for who will kick first.
Scoreboard on your screen's now being cleared. 0-0. The final little bit of drama tonight to watch this penalty shootout take place. little bit of a modest crowd tonight. Is the weeknight. Break from usual NPL programming, but the crowd that is here being absolutely treated to something really dramatic tonight.
So it will be Adelaide City with the first spot kick here in the penalty shootout. It's going to be Yuki Kitano versus Nicholas Harpus. If you've never watched a penalty shootout before, the first 5, and then it becomes sudden death after that. So it's Kitano versus Harpus. He trots up, puts it away nicely. 1-0 to Adelaide City. Charlie Devereaux walks up, grabs the ball from his captain, puts it on the spot. Devereaux for West Torrens Birkalla. John Hall in goals for Adelaide City. Goes to Panenka, and boy oh boy was that. John Hall is a very big unit, and he almost got a claw up to stop that little Panenka from Charlie Devereaux. It's 1-1.
He's just commanding in front of that goal on the line. He just covers so much ground, and Nick Harpus is no small unit, but even he's dwarfed next to that massive John Hall.
So Jared Abitu will step up next for Adelaide City with the chance to make it 2-1 to Adelaide City in the shootout. Jared Abitu scores for Adelaide City.
Even gave a bit of a, did you see that, to John Hall as well.
Yeah, he's definitely copped it since he come on as a substitute, Jared Abitu, and stood up tall in that occasion to put his team 2-1 up in the shootout. It's going to be Jonathan Dorigo for West Torrens Birkalla. Seems like an eternity that he put his team 1-0 up in that second half. Can he equalise here from the spot? Yes, he can. 2-2 in the shootout.
Well, he's done his job tonight. Really impressive first goal off of that volley, and gets his pen as well. Now it's the man that's worn the captain's armband for Adelaide City since Nicholas Bucco came off. Matthew Dorber to have his chance.
It's going to be Matt Dorber. He's been a menace all night. Can he score from the spot? Oh wow, what a penalty. So Adelaide City 3, West Torrens Birkalla 2. It's going to be Austin Scambiatera for Birkalla.
taking that long walk up to the spot. Of course, he's the freshest set of legs out there, but he's got all the pressure on him at the moment.
Scambiatera. Hall dives the right way, but Scambiatera has too much height, too much power. It's 3-3. Daniel Brezan steps up for Adelaide City. So Brezan for City. Steps up. Straight down the middle, puts it away nicely. 4-3 to Adelaide City. And now we get to the pressure point penalty, Simon. A miss here for Alan Welsh, who steps up. We'll see Adelaide City with the opportunity to win it with their next kick. A man of Alan Welsh's class, you'd almost put your house on this one. Welsh, a known penalty taker, steps up, and you can see exactly why with the calmness that he expertly tucks that one away. Sent John Hall the wrong way. It's 4-4.
Once John Hall was diving, there was no stopping him. He waited until he had the ability to pick the spot. But yeah, after 4 kicks, you'd expect it to be no other way than all tied up here.
You don't have a choice. Paddy Karachia. Did I get that one right, Johnny? Steps up. Must score. Saved by Nicholas Harpus! Linesman happy, referee happy, which only means one thing, Simon. It's going to be Chris Christophilos with the opportunity here to send West Torrens Birkalla through to the next round of the Federation Cup and Hahn Australian Cup preliminary rounds. John Hall needs to come up big for his side. Christophilos steps up, shoots, scores, game over. West Torrens Birkalla win the penalty shootout, 5-4. And we've been treated to more than what we came here for tonight. And it is finally over.
Well, it seemed appropriate, doesn't it, that Nicholas Harper's the captain, the one to...
Well, he's come up big the last few weeks to keep his team in games in the RAA MPL, and tonight he comes up big to ultimately send his team through to the next round of the Federation Cup here in South Australia and Hahn Australian Cup preliminary round 3 action. They'll now face off next round after winning this game, and tempers are sort of being controlled there, thankfully.
I mean, after a game when both teams are just giving it all at this point,
yeah,
you'd hope that they can shake hands and get on with it at this point.
Well, Simon, this one's over, but we've got more action to come this weekend. If you want more football fix, you've got a few games tomorrow. You've got Adelaide Comets versus Parahills East, who knocked off South Adelaide last round. Sturt Lions play Tea Tree Gully. Adelaide Hills host West Adelaide. Modbury Jets, they'll go up against fellow MPL team Parahills Knights. FK Beargrad will welcome Adelaide Blue Eagles. Gawler Eagles will play Metro Stars. Adelaide Croatia Raiders will play State League 2 team Elizabeth Grove. And then on the Saturday, Croydon FC will play Salisbury Inter. Campbelltown City in an all NPL affair will play Playford City. Seaford Rangers, they will play Pontian Eagles. Croydon Cougars will play Garn United. Adelaide University versus Adelaide Olympic. Cove FC will host Adelaide Atletico. Adelaide Titans, they will play Fulham United. And on the Sunday, it's a standalone fixture at St Clair Oval to finish off the cup rounds. It's Vipers FC versus Cumberland. Well, Simon, thanks for joining me tonight. We got, like I said, more than we expected, but now we can relax, move on. I'm off to Melbourne to go watch the original rivalry, Adelaide versus Melbourne Victory. And what are you up to this weekend?
Just relax and enjoy the rest of the round off. I think it's been a lot of NPL action over the last few weeks. So
yeah, I think most of the guys are happy with a week off this week.
But definitely glad we came out tonight and called this game. Like you said, got some extra football for our night out and plenty of drama to go with it as well. And great to see these teams just give it all to get that result.
And thanks to Adelaide as well for broadcasting this game here for us tonight in conjunction with SA Football Focus, who we kind of do a bit for. Yeah, we try to anyways, try to do our bit for the footballing community. And shout out to, obviously, you got the local game with Johnny Kecko, and you've got One Game at a Time podcast, which is hosted by Seb O'Neill. We've got Mark Talbot, Alessio Carocci and David Grant on that show.
That was a good Scottish accent. I like that.
Yeah, hope that one is that good enough.
David does it better, but
well, it's finished up here after full time. It was 1-1 after extra time. They still couldn't be split at 1-1. It was West Torrens Birkalla eventually winning the penalty shootout 5-4, cementing their spot through to the next round. We hope you enjoyed the coverage, and we'll see you next weekend for action in the RAA NPL and Apex Steel WNPL. But from us here tonight, it's good night.